Hello everyone. Welcome to another Mac84 live stream. I'm Steve. Hello. Hopefully the audio and the video are okay. Let me know if that is working well. I hope so. Today, I'm pushing my luck. Today we are looking at Sean's, or Action Retro's, CURSED Macintosh SE 30. And if you are not familiar with the history of this computer, I think you should go watch Sean's video. In fact, I have a screen grab up here, and I'd like to show you that, if this will cooperate there. There we go. So I'll paste a link in the chat there, but Sean did, I think it's a 3 or 4 part series already, about this CURSED Macintosh computer that he got off Craigslist. And it, as you could tell, the thing's been modded out pretty crazy. It has a CD-ROM drive in there, a Jazz drive. There's all sorts of crazy stuff in there. I don't want to spoil all of it, but go watch Sean's video. I'm going to paste the link in the chat now, and you should become accustomed to this computer because it's quite fascinating. Honestly, having a CD-ROM drive in an SE30 is pretty neat. So I think that was a good decision. I'm not so sure about the many speakers and other things inside of that, but I think it is an interesting mod, and at this point it's been pushed so far from not being a stock machine that it would be a shame to try and make it a stock machine. I mean, what's the fun in that? There's already holes cut in it. Just go further. So there you go. Anyway, bunch of people in the chat already, so hello everybody. We got 25 people here, so hello. We have Bruce, we have Greg, we have Sean, of course, from Action Retro, we have Trina, we have Starbuck Tech, Crazy Tech Reviews, Sad Mac 356, we got Doug, we got Mitchell, we got Davidson, we have Thomas, we have Zombie Geek, we have Classy Mac, if I didn't say you already, Thomas is here, and a bunch of other people who just keep flooding the chat, so yay, hello everybody. Nick is here as well. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is just explain what I've done to this board so far. So sometimes when I get bored during meetings, I do other things too. And I was actually taking the caps off of this one, which I should have recorded because one popped and flew and banged me right in the glasses. Good thing I had these on, or I would have knocked myself in the eye there. But the caps have been removed. I don't see too much crud on here, although some of these chips are very green. The axials have to come off, so we will be working on that, so that'll be exciting. And we'll have to put some new caps on this. But the board looks relatively clean, and it looks like it's in relatively good condition. Those words will come back and bite me, I'm sure. Removed all the memory, removed the special ROM that Sean had in there, and we're going to see if we can clean this up. Now, it does work, as you can see by Sean's video. The machine does boot up and everything. So hopefully fixing this and cleaning this up will just prolong its life. Because those capacitors and the old batteries and stuff like that can leak and destroy these boards. So if you have one of these computers, you want to make sure that you can, get those old caps off of here, remove any of those batteries and stuff like that. I did not put any caps on the board yet, Trina. I have removed the old caps just as something I was just doing. And we're going to go from there. But I am hopeful that we can clean this up well. Thankfully, it already works. I will show you some of the weirdness I'm seeing. Well, not weirdness. The cursed chips, or whatever you want to say. Some of the gunk that's around those chips there is pretty gnarly. So we're going to take a look at that and see if we could scrub that off maybe now or later in the stream. Yeah. Oh, hey, Greg from Ruck Mods. Thank you very much for this super chat there. I have to get very close to the microphone and wish you a good eep. Eep! There we go. Sorry to everyone's ears out there, but thank you very much, Greg. That's very much appreciated. This cursed Mac almost looks like a mod that Greg would have done on his channel. Oh, 8,000 subscribers. Very, very nice. Congrats, Greg. That's awesome. What makes the cursed Mac cursed? Well, I'll let Sean handle that because he's the one that said it was cursed. I'm just assuming because when I got the box in the mail, it said beware. This box is a cursed Macintosh. So, if it's on the box, it must be true, right? I mean, that's just common logic there. But All right. So let's get this thing under the microscope and see what kind of madness is going on here. All right, let's adjust this so we're not super zoomed in. There we go. There. That should be good. So let's look at that now. All right. When the CD-ROM started opening by itself. Well, he didn't send me the floppy drive, but if the floppy drive is cursed too, you should send that over. And welcome to the chat, Mike. We have plenty of other cursed things in the basement, I'm sure, but hopefully this is not one of them. Yes, the IBM PS2 is very cursed. That's sitting right over there. If we get desperate, we might have to do like some sort of ritual and maybe flow some of the energy from that machine to this. But all right, so let's take a look here. So I actually haven't looked at these pads too well. You can see there's still some flux on there from when we removed the capacitors off stream there. But you could see, let's see if you can actually see this. I'm going to zoom in. And we're going to adjust the focus here. And you could see right on this VLSI chip here, you could see all this stuff here. Ugh. Look at that. There's a bunch of crap here. Bunch of slimy goo and capacitor juice and creepy substances. So this will benefit from a good cleaning no matter what. Leaving that stuff on those pins is probably not a good idea. So, curse crud. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of that. So, that's something of you know, that's one of the things we're going to have to deal with here. I actually have to move this keyboard out of the way. I'm going to keep hitting that. And then we're going to look over here at these chips. And you can see that these have some cursed crud on them too. These are nice and green. Nice healthy shade of green. And just look at that. That has green all over it there. So, overall, the computer looks to be in good condition. Not necessarily the legs of certain chips, but honestly, it's pretty spotless. There's not like so much dirt and grime in every crevice as some of the computers I've seen. Hopefully, this will clean up well. So, the internet should not go out because I have a brand new internet service provider, which is giving me so much internet upload and download speeds, I should theoretically be okay. But if anything happens, I blame it on the cursed computer because that is exactly what I should do. And on the left side here, we have some more green cursed goo. Ooh, we get some nice shades here. Yeah, this would definitely benefit from some from some good ultrasonic cleaning because yes, no longer using cable. I'm now using a fiber optic connection, which is night and day difference, let me tell you what. All right, so let's get down to it here. We're going to zoom out from here. And since we removed those, well, let me take off my watch first. We've removed some of those capacitors already. Well, all of them except the axial ones. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to clean up these pads here, and then I'll press my luck and take out these axials because that's always fun. And by fun, I mean frustrating. All right, so soldering iron is heating up. Yeah, Greg. It didn't help that they had a 15-day period where there was no people to come out and install it. So, all right. So we're going to just scrape some of this gunk off of there, all the old solder and everything from the previous capacitors. 9 GB 1080p file. Sounds like you're not using a compressed codec or something. Never used that program, but good luck. All right. So let's get going here. Would help if I move my soldering station a little bit closer to where I was doing the work today. There we go. The curse has already begun. All right. let's make these pads nice and shiny, shall we? Well, if I can get the wick in a good spot. Oh yeah, that's much better. Ugh. Yes, I hope I am not cursed. Let's just say that. I'm just gonna clip off the old used part of that that wick there, because sometimes that just likes to stick to things and I don't want that to happen. Well, I'm not a priest, I'll tell you that. Alright, so we're just going to get all the old disgusting solder that probably has a bunch of cap juice in it. These caps didn't stink too bad when I was removing them. Could have been worse. Wasn't too bad though. Now, in Bruce's defense, if you don't have the computer or the power supply, it's very hard to test them unless you're a sorcerer. I am not a sorcerer. But yes, if we get to a state where we could test this machine today, we will be testing it. So that's the plan, at least. We'll see if this cursed computer has any other plans for us. Yes, don't worry. We're okay, Greg. Yes, I must say that Sean's videos were excellent. I really enjoyed him opening the machine up, taking a look around, and really just trying to get things working. I don't want to spoil anything again. Hopefully most of you have seen it, but I would definitely check out the videos that he has done on that. And really, he's done an excellent job, and I'm happy to be a part of this computer's history. even if I do get cursed a little bit, I think it will be temporarily worth it. We'll see. I don't know if the long-term effects, if I'll be cursed for how long. I didn't read the contract, but yeah, some of those caps just did a number on leaking here. They smelled quite a bit stinky, and you know when you smell one of these, when you smell the capacitors going like that, you're in for some work. And it was a little difficult removing some of these caps, and some of the fluxes are. I put some flux on here before we started, and some of it is not. Before we went live, rather. I'll put a little more there, but always read the fine print. Yes. Yes, I will be taking a look at. I have a bunch of machines actually that I have to take a look at. I have a LC575. I have 2 color classic boards. I have an Apple IIe card. They're all in various states right now. Some work has been started, some is not completed yet. The Macintosh 2 just needs some minor work there. I'm waiting on some battery holders. A lot of scunge on that one. But also, Mike is going to send me the floppy drive for his IBM. What is it? I forget the name of that. The model you have, Mike. But Mike has a very interesting. It's almost like a Macintosh portable, but of an IBM PS2 or something along those lines. And it's a very interesting machine. And the problem is the floppy drive is not so happy. So we're going to try and get that to work. That means a lot of streams. No more buffering and issues with that. with our silly internet connection. No more of that, please. Oh, so you could just tell when look at all that. That is just cap juice that is just stuck on there. Ugh. A PS2 model P70. Nice. Did I get the TV package too? No. We just got the internet. I have not had a personally, not under my name or anything. I've not personally had a paid-for TV service, like a cable service, not a streaming service, like an actual plug it in. There's a set-top box. You pay a monthly fee for it. I've never had one. Never. We have antenna TV, and we have all these other streaming things. So I mean, we have. There's quite a lot of junk to watch if you actually want to watch something. But most of the time, I'm watching movies or TV shows or something. I mean, there's no shortage of things to watch these days. Maybe 10 years ago or so, not a lot of stuff was streaming. You had to get the discs and everything, but from Netflix. But exactly, I don't miss it either. There's usually just a lot of junk that's repeating things, and there's a lot of stuff on Pluto TV and all these other things that are they're ad supported, but it's like if you just want to veg out and watch something random, you can. So. But the TV package was a little much. You're basically paying a lot of fees and stuff. That's the one thing I liked about the Fios I went with. You don't have to pay a modem fee because there's just an Ethernet line coming out of the box outside of the house. And you supply your own router. You don't have to pay any router fees. So that was nice. No cable modem or any junk like that. Wrong spelling in both areas, but close. Maybe? Oh, boy. All right, so, yeah, you could definitely see some of the gunk here that is still on some of these places here. And, well, you could do things at the same time, Adam. I mean, I put on Bruce's streams all the time and go do tons of stuff. You could totally see here that some of these capacitors has leaked their special sauce in some of this area. So obviously here is a good example of that. You could see by the little pad there and the little trace connecting to it. It's a little bit worse for wear. It's not too bad, but not too horrible. But we're gonna see if we can clean those up. I'm just doing a first pass here, and then we're gonna clean them up a little more when we are ready to put some fresh caps on them. It looks like some of the stuff from that old cap is still there, so. Oh, don't worry. I am terrible at spelling too, and part of my job involves a heavy amount of writing. So, thank goodness for things like spell checker and all that sort of stuff. Because, hey, I need it too. All right. There we go. Nice and clean. We like to see nice clean pads here. Okay, so that one's not too bad. So again, we're just going to go around the board here. We're just going to clean up some areas. Make sure that we could get all this old gunk off before we put our new caps on. Yes, they are wiggling. That's why I'm hovering over, and that's why I'm using some flux, because some of these, you could see those caps were struggling to get off. They've already leaked a little bit. Not too bad, but you could smell them when you were taking them off. So this one, there's quite a bit of crud on there. So I'm going to put some fresh solder on there and just wiggle it about a little bit, just to loosen that up a little bit. You see all those little dirt particles and all that crap? Yeah, we want to get that all off there. Bruce has done this more times than I've ever looked at a computer probably. So And when he has advice, you better listen, because that's an expert you're talking to. An expert. And when we get to putting the caps on the board here, I will give a shout out again to Bruce for his wonderful website, because without his website, it would be very difficult to see which caps you have to replace what with, knowing what variations of international versus US versions and all that stuff. He runs an excellent website, so I'm giving a plug now, but I'll give him another plug in a little bit. But I'll put it on the screen too, because we're going to be fancy. But he has an excellent website, which is a great resource for recapping your Mac. He has most guides up there for most of the vintage Macs there, and it's very, very helpful. Yeah, I don't like complaining. I mean, where's the fun in that? Why would I complain with an audience too? I mean, I'll rant about things, but I think that's a little different. A little bit different. But thank you everybody for watching today. We got 36 people, so hello everybody. And Trina just posted a link to Bruce's website, which is great. So that's recapamac.com, which is fantastic. So if you want to go there and read all about the Macintoshes that you have all the links there too. Also, if you want to send your boards to Bruce to repair, you could very much well do that. There's a little form there and some information all about doing that, because he does exactly what I do. He does it better. I will completely admit that. But he does an excellent job. He does live streams also and does some excellent instructional videos. So please give Bruce a view there. Subscribe to his channel if you haven't done so already, because that is where I learn a lot of my stuff too. So I'm glad you're having fun. I'm having fun cleaning this up, because I hope we could just recap this machine here, and this will be a fairly easy job. Knock wood. This machine is cursed, so I'm sure it has its own plan of attack. But oh boy. Dual booting Windows sounds like its own curse. No, thank you. Jeez, I think I did that a few times ages ago, and it was not fun. There was no fun in that at all. A recap of a Lisa analog board. Well, I think Bruce had some experience in that, Bruce. Or was that... I don't know if you touched the analog board on that one. I know you talked about playing around with the Lisa. I don't know if you released that video yet. But if not, stay tuned to Bruce's channel. I'm sure he'll post that fairly soon, or at least divulge in some details if you require assistance. If he's messed with it. I'd forget what part of the machine he's played with. Even might have been a Lisa 2, I don't know. But alright, so that doesn't look too bad. Let's go over to... I know there's one I'm missing. Here we go. This one down here, hiding way in the corner here. And you could just look at this. Let's just get some of this grime off of here right away, because you could actually see where it's leaked into. So that electrolytic juice has actually leaked into the layer of the board here. So you could actually see the discoloration here. Let me zoom in. So you could see the different colors there. That should, right here, this area should be all that same color of green. But you can see that capacitor has leaked, and it has leaked into these different layers here. So that is just terrible. And we have some lovely solder balls there from the previous solder. So we want to clean that all away. But look at that. That is pretty nasty. Pretty nasty. I'm glad some people enjoy my ranting. Oh boy. Oh, no laughing. YouTube is serious business. Must be serious. No laughing. No laughing. This looks like it's going to be a little bit crusty there. So I'm going to add a little bit of solder there just to get things moving around a bit. Try and gently suggest that all that solder go home and get the heck out of here. Was that a leg from the other one? Jeez. That's a little concerning. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit concerning. Mac84 rants. Watch out for my new channel. Mac84 rants. I don't know if there's enough time in the day to do a channel like that. That'd be very dangerous. You know, I see a lot of people on YouTube actually spreading out and having multiple channels, where, you know, they'll have a channel for their live streams, have a channel for their regular stuff. But I mean, I don't have that much of a following to segment things out right now. But I mean, I'd love to do a channel where it's just like random non-Apple stuff, which you know is not really happens that often. But or I've seen some people, like, they'll have one for their live stuff and then one for their you know, their documentary videos or their video essays or whatever you want to call it. And that's this channel originally started out like that. I just wanted to do all that stuff, and then I started doing the live stream stuff, and I'm like, oh well, this ticks a box. That's that's a fun thing to do also. So I hope you enjoy both types of videos. At least once a week. Yes, Bruce does some great live streams. And if neither of us are on a stream, you could actually catch us on the Macyak podcast. That's Macyak. We're actually doing a show tomorrow, so it's every Thursday. And what's great about that is myself, Bruce, Mike, GT, Grudy, Jay, Rocky, and Dana are all there. So an excellent podcast, if I do say so myself. And look how clean those pads look now. They're all shiny. No more junk on them. How about that? Very, very nice. Very nice. Ooh, Trina's getting a classic Mac. Hopefully it's not a Mac Classic. It makes me. Well, I'm glad. Thank you. Alright, so let me just double check here. It looks like we got all those off the board. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see. Would it be easier to, yeah, let's put the caps on the board, then we'll worry about the axial ones afterwards. Oh, thank you very much, Jay. Thank you. Yes, if you would like to, you can like the video. Get it? The liking and so yeah, I mean, if you want to like the video, that's great. If you want to dislike it, I mean, that's a shame, but hey, if you want to do the thumbs down, you do you. YouTube still counts it as engagement, although my heart will break just slightly knowing that somebody out there does not enjoy myself as much as I enjoy myself. But that's, I mean, that's a given, I think. Alright, so just checking around some things here. I'm just looking around these caps just to make sure I don't see any obvious trace damage. It's a little hard with some of this gunk here, so I'm going to clean that away. Secrets. Is it a cursed computer, Trina? I think you have to tell us if it's a cursed computer. You know, I've never played around with OS 2 either, so. So we're just using some rubbing alcohol here, 99% isopropyl alcohol, and getting some of this gunk out of here. It looks like there's some solder on there. No, just gunk. I mean, some of this. Just look at this. Just look at that. That all came from there. Not fun. Not fun at all. Ugh. Ugh. I will sabotage your board. I know who's doing it. I'm gonna sabotage your board. Yeah, I don't do that to paying customers. We're being gentle. We're gonna scrub some happy little isopropyl alcohol here. Happy little capacitors. Yeah, you could see there's a ton of gunk in this area. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And I am not putting that deep enough in there to get it wet. There you go. Get all the alcohol on there. Help clean this area up because I mean, this will go in the ultrasonic cleaner and it'll be cleaned that way and everything. But I don't want to put caps on and have them be all dirty. There's no sense in doing that. And that piece of dirt flew under there. Let me grab that. Before we forget about it, even though this is going in the cleaner, and I found my good tweezers, so that's good. Cleaned up and found my good tweezers. So there's a little solder ball. There's a few of them actually. Let's take a look. Jay, close your eyes. I know this is a sensitive subject for you. Don't want to trigger you. But there's some solder balls here that are just hanging around right there. There we go. And yeah, we got some solder balls here. So this one might not just come off. This might be actually soldered onto. Some of them it's just. Oop, and you can see the hair on my tweezers. There we go. Yeah, I mean some of these you just get the melting solder from, or the shell of melting solder from the outside of these legs that just like to, you know, hang around. So there, they're cleaner now. If I could get them, I'm too zoomed in. That's why. There, much better. Okay, so there's a few other ones here. Let's get those out of the way. 46 people. Hello, 46 people. So this is, for those of you just joining, this is Sean, Action Retro's Macintosh SE30. That is cursed. It's a cursed machine. And we are cleaning up. We're just getting some solder balls out from the depths of these pins here, because although we will be putting this in an ultrasonic cleaner afterwards, if I find something that's dirty, we're going to try and clean it out. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. Alright, so yeah, those pads are looking okay. A lot of this could just be might just be some residue from the old solder. I'm going to gently do some scraping action here just to see if that's going to come off. Yeah. Look at all this right here. Ugh. Yeah, we need some more alcohol there because there's still some gunk over there. Ugh. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I mean, again, this is going to go in the cleaner, but if I'm putting the capacitors right there and everything, there we go. We want all that gunk away. Away with you! Be gone! Be gone, thy curse from this computer! So, if you have not seen Sean's video, I hope you have. For those of you just joining, this is a computer from Sean. He has a YouTube channel, Action Retro. And he found this computer on Craigslist. And it is cursed because of the modifications that were done to it. However, I think it's a pretty neat machine. And so if you want, Sean, you can paste the link to your video in the chat so people can subscribe to your channel, or they can take a look at that. But yeah, all right. So to all 47 of you, hello and welcome. So what I'm going to do next is we are going to get some capacitors out of a bag. Very exciting. Where did I put the bag? There it is. Oh boy. But to do that, we're going to need some help here. So what I'm going to do is give Bruce a plug that he very much deserves. And Bruce Brain, Rankus Creations here, has a wonderful YouTube channel. And he also has a wonderful website. And that website is called Recap Mac. And you go there, and you use this little resource menu here. And you can select whatever classic Macintosh you have. And you get a wonderful little write-up. You get a list of components that you have to replace, these capacitors. And you get a great diagram here. So you could download a PDF of that diagram also. It tells you exactly what capacitors you need. And you can get this computer working just like new. So, again, excellent website there, and I have a printed out copy of this, so that is helpful for me. And so we will be, let me transition back there. So I'm going to bring out my printed copy here. My fancy binder. Looks familiar. And take a look and get our capacitor sheet out so we know what caps we need to replace. Okay. Go. Ah, yes. Well, Jay, get that link ready, because here come the plug. All right. So, my friend Jay here from the House of Moth has a website, appleserialnumberinfo.com, and you can look up your Macintosh serial number. It'll tell you everything about it, which is great. But right now, they're running a little poll about what Macintosh should be featured for this month on the website. I believe there's a Macintosh 512K, there's a Power Macintosh AGP, I think there's a Macintosh Portable, but I don't want to, unlike some other YouTube celebrities, I don't want to suggest what you vote for. AGP Tower. But I think they're all very nice Macintoshes. You could vote whichever one you please. I'm actually quite partial to both the 512K and the AGP. However, I used the AGP before I even touched a 512K. So, so go to the website that the House of Moth just posted in there, and vote however you would like to vote. I will leave it to you. So how about that? All right. So what am I missing here? I'm missing a piece of tape so I can hang this up so I can take a look at this. A new inbox AGP tower. Well, that's cool, Adam. I remember my father unboxing his when he first got it. His was a 450 megahertz AGP model with a 21-inch studio display. That thing was beautiful, man. Beautiful. Still the computer. Unfortunately, the display went bye-bye. It died. Died a sad, horrible death. As a lot of those displays did. There was a lot of recalls for them, unfortunately. Action Retro says he's voting for the iMac because he is a dull person. Oh, boy. All right, so we need a few different capacitors here. We need 4 different types. And let's get them out of the bag here. So the first part is the fun part is sorting through. I need to get a box. This package is probably not the best way to sort these materials. But a bunch of capacitors I just got that are not for this machine. These are... Really? That's what those are? Look a little chunky. Did I put the wrong one back in the box? Hold on. My labeling system has no flaws, of course, so... I'm delirious. Nope, yeah, these are the right ones. Okay, so we need 10 of these, and we have 3. Oh, perfect. We have 12 here. We only need 10. I believe this is the last of the 47 microfarad 16 volt capacitors that I ordered in January. So we went through those pretty quickly. Dollar store. Dollar store is too expensive. A whole $1? No, thank you. What am I, made out of money? Alright, so got these capacitors here. So these are 2 of the axial ones. We put it on in a little bit. Those axial ones usually don't leak. Oh my goodness, we had 50 people there for a second. Then they got some sense in them and they buggered off. But those axial capacitors usually don't leak. However, since I'm going to be on this board, since we're going to be replacing things, it doesn't hurt to do it. So, might as well. And we need one of these 220 microfarad 16 volt axials. Again, I have to order more of these. I'm using more of these than I anticipated. That Macintosh 2 recap took up a lot of them. Mike, that is like poetry. An iMac with no screen is a Mac Mini. That is something you would like. You would read in a fortune cookie. A really dorky fortune cookie. Oh, I'm laughing at my own jokes. Somebody save me. Alright. Let's find our 1 microfarad 50 volt. It's gotta be around here somewhere. That's the last one that we need. I had 150 of these capacitors, the 47 microfarad 16 volt. 150. We're down to 2. What? How does that happen? How does that happen? I am a dork. Thank you for recognizing that. I'm very, very happy that you know, me hiding it all these years has oh, and I dropped a capacitor. Actually, at least I saw where it went. Alright. Cool. Alright, we got all the capacitors. There's no saving me. I am long gone. Long gone. But that's okay. You're all along for the ride. Can't back out now. That sounds like a dangerous video there, Adam. Oh, by the way, so I have a shirt. Yay! I designed this shirt. None too fancy, just typefaces and stuff like that. But I'm very proud of it. It came out quite nice. For all my Patreon people, if you go to patreon.com/Mac84, if you're not one of them, you can get access to buy one of these shirts for $1. The access is $1, starting at $1 to support me. The shirt run around $19, something like that. I will be posting these publicly next month at a higher price because in order to post things in a public store, you have to pay a little higher. The way I'm doing it on Patreon and you know, saving you guys some money is by doing it with direct links. So it's a little bit different, but if you like one of these shirts, they're really cool. I know some of you have ordered them already, which is nice. But I do not, unfortunately, control the sizes that they put the shirts in. If you have an issue with a size that's not available, there are other shirts that teespring.com has available. Go to their website, just see what they have, and then send me an email, mac84tv@gmail.com. And if you'd like, you get some. Maybe I'll be able to find a shirt there or something that we can put something on. Oh, on the back of the shirt is my little logo, the little Mac Classic. You don't have to focus on my head. You could focus on the Mac Classic there. But the Macintosh Color Classic, and below it says Mac84.net. So a little shameless self-promotion there, but it's my shirt. I guess I could do that. So, all right, back to the capacitors. Sorry, we lost a few viewers there. They were like, this guy just talks too much. He just talks too much. We're doing pretty good for 47 minutes in. Ooh. Sort of. All right. Put the axials over there. Let's go on this. So what I'd like to do first is install the capacitor that is the odd man out, so we don't confuse it. Not that that's ever happened before. We're very professional here. Very professional. Very much. Okay. All right. So let's use our eyes to figure out where the heck we are here. There we go. Alright, and I know it's a little out of focus for you guys. Sometimes the focus on the camera is not exactly what I see through the microscope. So my apologies if sometimes it's a little out of focus and I don't know. That's just how it happens. How things are. I don't think Sean would appreciate that. Or maybe he would, but I only have capacitors of basic colors here. Unless you want me to paint them. That sounds exactly like something I would do in high school, making the EEP my cell phone text message notification. I probably did that at one point in time. I just don't remember it. I blocked those bad memories out. Yeah, there was a I don't think I'll call it a song, but there was an MP3 that like played through a lot of the Macintosh alert noises. It was like beep, quack, boom, eep, like it had a little jingle to it. And for a while I had that as my ringtone. You know, just to make sure that I was well liked by nobody in high school. That was the ultimate goal there. All right. First capacitor on the board. Alright, the problem is these are a little big, so ensuring that we have enough space on both sides is sometimes a little tricky. You can see there's very little space on the left there. I think we could do this. If not, I blame it on the curse, not on any quote-unquote skills I may or may not have. A little more solder on that. It is not doing much. There we go. Do our little wiggle test. And that ain't going nowhere. Perfect. I thank you very much, Trina. Greatly appreciated. Yes, if you want to find out about my shirts, go to my Patreon page. Now, obviously, if you support me, you get a bunch of other goodies than just access to shirts. You get exclusive content, videos I don't post anywhere else. You get early access to videos before they're posted anywhere else. Sometimes you get previews of videos before I actually post them online. I'll give a draft version or something like that. And if you like listening to me ramble or reading my rambles, well, you could do that too. There's a bunch of cool stuff on there. Highly recommend you check that out if you would like to. There are some public posts on there. Most of them are for patrons only, but I am planning to try and do a blog there more often because I figured that's a perfect place to do it. There's already an audience there, and if I do some public posts, that'll probably entice anybody else to see what else is on there. So thank you again for that link. But okay. 1 cent extra per cap to paint. Yes, let's not do that. Oh, Bruce, you always ask the magic question. There's actually a draft of that on my Patreon page. There's a few drafts of that, actually. And so I was actually waiting for this shirt to come in the mail for me to do the intro to that video because, spoiler alert, I've acquired some Macintosh clone-related shirts. And since it will be a heavy me-focused video of me talking a little bit, I figured, you know what? Might as well dress for the occasion. So I wanted a strictly Apple shirt to wear in one segment, and then I was going to wear some non-Apple shirts that are maybe clone related. But the video is going along well. That's actually why I wasn't streaming for a while. That and my bad internet connection, I figured, you know what? Let me focus on some other things. And I was doing that. Yes, I'll just use my patented 6-color Apple Rainbow nail polish. And we'll polish each capacitor and paint it a different color. There's an extra $70 charge for that. Oh boy. This one is fun because it's so close to that chip. Yeah, let's not use electrolytic ones either. That'll just give me more work and a very unhappy customer. I mean, I know the computer's cursed, but we want to make sure the owner is cursed also, or the person repairing it. Please, let's not have any of that. I have enough bad luck around here sometimes. Say that as my left hand starts to wiggle like a walrus. And yes, wiggle like a walrus is copyright Mac84. There you go. Now that I said it, it has to be true. Hey, you got your Macintosh 2 CI working. Very cool. I wish mine worked properly. That's just another stream I have to continue with because, my goodness, that was like a long time ago I started messing with that machine. And it still don't work correctly, which makes me upset. But yes, my next shirt will say "wiggle like a walrus" on the back, and everyone's like, "What the heck is this guy?" I mean, I'll buy the shirt. He clearly needs help for multiple reasons, but I don't understand. He's obviously battling something. Always so fun when these are so close to other components. And by fun, I mean annoying and frustrating and nerve-wracking. I didn't put my phone on the charger. Oopsie. Well, how about that, Bruce? That is amazing. Swapping a 2CI for a 2CX. That's pretty neat. Now, of course, you know, there's difference in the machines a little bit. The 2CI, you lose the onboard video, but that's pretty neat. What is it? Was the 2CI? 2CI was the faster one, wasn't it? Or am I getting those mixed up? They're so similar that sometimes I do get those mixed up. Because I remember my father's first machine was the 2CX. So that's what I grew up with. It's all about having the pair. Okay. It's like, wait, why would he do that? Ah, yes. He has the same disease I have. Macintosh collectoritis. Even if it's a bad Mac, and you don't have it, there's kind of a law that says you need to have it. It was perfect the first time. I don't know why I messed with it. Well, not perfect, but let's get the other side here, just so we could mess with the other side if we want to. The cursed Mac is here. That is right. Welcome to the main event, and thank you for joining, David. Just a wee bit of flux there. I just don't want to make sure it's actually going to get the solder on the little pad under there too. That's my only concern by looking at that. I guess that's okay though. That looks a little bit better. Alright, all those capacitors are nice and happy. They are pointing the right way. Whoopsie, wrong direction, wrong direction. Alright, very, very cool. Okay, so we have a few more to go here. So we're just going to spin around the board. Right, lucky number 13. Oh, nothing could go wrong with this one. Ugh, it's just got chill up my spine. Full crowd tonight. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It seems some new faces, too. So thank you for anybody who is joining for the first time. If you are joining for the first time, if you would kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Me and my friend Bruce here from Brankus Creations have had a friendly wager going on. And by friendly, I mean very aggressive. And by wager, I mean we're not betting anything. About who gets the most subscribers. And he is currently winning by a long shot. So if you could help me out. Yes, I'm begging for subscribers now. This is like, please, I need to feed my family. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. But I know a lot of you are already subscribed to the channel. You can't subscribe more than once, unless you have like a bunch of zombie accounts or something. Not that I condone such behavior, but yes, this is the type of ramblings that happen when you're recapping Macintosh boards. Oh boy. Okay. So we're going to put some flux on here. And you know, we had on our MacYak podcast the other week, we were talking about the iMac G3 for a while. And you know what? I have a lot of iMac G3 videos that I've partially shot and just have not completed. I have a few scripts that are already done for it. I've just not gotten there yet. And so what I'm planning to do is hopefully I'll be able to release part 1 of the clone video there. And then I will be able to release one of the iMac videos that I'm working on. because first off, they seem to be very popular, and I love doing them. There's a lot to talk about those computers. And so the first one I did was 2 years ago, and the most recent one I did was in December, something like that. Those videos have gotten a lot of attention. Some were even reposted on blog sites and stuff like that. It's very cool. And, you know, it's funny because I personally, when I was doing that video, I'm like, oh, it's an iMac. You know, everybody knows about these. They're not anything fancy. And then I realized, you know what? There's a lot of people who grew up with those computers who are now, you know, adults, you know. And it's like, oh my gosh, that was 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago. And I didn't have an iMac for the longest time because I didn't need one. But, you know, we eventually did get one. It was for a very short period of time, and I'll elaborate that on in a second. But anyway, I will be doing more iMac videos. I plan to cover the fruit color iMacs, the ones that came after the Bondi blue ones. And there we go. Or Bondi, excuse me. To sort of show off the differences between them, talk about the mezzanine slots some more and stuff like that. After that, focus on the DV models. I know I did that truth video about the DV models. I have a whole video planned about that. I'm restoring a lime green iMac DV that Mike Stanhope from Mike's Mac Shack gave me. And that is all clean and just sitting in the corner waiting for some attention there. So, now we woke up Jay by pronouncing the iMac color a different way. So, we'll wait for him to start shouting. There he is. I needed to make sure we woke him up. That's you say it 3 times in a row and he appears at your house. Oh boy. Yeah, I have way too many iMacs. So if that was the goal of the video, then you know, I need to do that for myself. That e-waste warehouse was just, there were just so many iMacs there. And they were going to toss them. They were going to toss every single one of them. There was literally a pallet of iMacs. And I went back, I spent my time, and I saved as many of them as I could. And Mike there in the chat, he has one of those iMacs. He has a very, very beautiful ruby-colored iMac. One that I do not have. But he specifically asked for that. And if he did not specifically ask for that, I probably wouldn't have dug into those pallet of iMacs to try and save them. And I didn't actually test any of them. I feel like when I get through my compact Mac ones, oh, that's gonna be fun to test those. I'm a little squeamish around those, to be honest. Those bigger CRTs, they like, and those are just known for crackling and popping and this. You see me squeam and scream. I mean, that'll be maybe a Halloween episode. Be very spooky. Jay, you've had a CRT go sizzle, boom, kabam! Maybe not crackle, pop, but along those same lines. You need an iMac everywhere, yes. Well, there's not one in the bathroom, thankfully. I think I'd be living on the streets if that was the case. Alright, not in the upstairs bathroom. Let me correct that. Oh, boy. Yeah, the flybacks and the CRT on those are a bit annoying. Yes, Dana, accept the challenge. Oh boy. Hope you guys are having fun. I'm having fun here. Hope all 45 of you are having a good day. So about the iMac, I forgot about this until I was writing a script for the iMac DV because the computer that we had in our house, the latest one was the G4 AGP tower that my dad had gotten. And he got that partially from, well, not partially, his job paid for it because he needed a faster machine at home. And the previous machine he had was a 7500. And a 450 megahertz G4 was a heck of a lot faster, especially if you're doing graphics work and stuff like that. So in order for him to take home work on the weekends or work extra on projects and stuff, he needed a computer. He simply just needed one. So they were kind enough to, foot the bill there, and that's how he got the machine and the matching display, and a beautiful machine. So we didn't have an iMac. We had the old 7500, us kids I'm speaking, to use. And we were at CompUSA, I forget what year it was, and I'm sorry this is off camera, I just had to move this a little bit so I could see it, because I don't want to melt the plastic here. And so what we ended up doing was we went to this CompUSA store. There's a store that was a chain in the U.S. here called CompUSA, and I think they're all gone now, unfortunately. Oh, I slipped my tweezers there. And let me finish this, and there we go. And they had a bunch of iMacs for sale. They were older models. I don't think the G4 one was out yet, but these were a bit on the slower side. I think they were all display units. You can probably see where I'm going with this here. They were all display units. They were all on probably 24 hours a day because they were demo units, they were display units. And so, for whatever reason, I don't know if CompUSA purchased these machines or what. Obviously, it wasn't an Apple store, so they would have had to get the machines somehow. I don't know if they purchased them or what. But they were getting rid of them. And so they had them up for sale. Now, I can't recall the price exactly. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't that bad. This was before the iMac, before the iMac G4. So seeing an iMac come out at under $1,000, I think it was, I want to say it was $899 or $799 or $699. It wasn't a bad price. Oh no, I think it was $499 or $599. But the kicker was, you had to buy AppleCare, and in those days, I believe the protection plan was around $200 or $250. So I remember specifically my father having a very tempered exchange with the CompUSA salesman and saying, "Look, I know how to fix these things. I don't want to pay extra for a warranty. I don't need the warranty. It's a third of the price of the computer." Doesn't make sense. Well, eventually the guy said, "Look, it's either with the warranty or without it. We sold one of these before. The guy came back kicking and screaming. We had to refund him. We're giving you the warranty, no ifs, ands, or buts." So my dad's eventually like, "All right, you know what? We'll get the iMac." Well, had the iMac for a few days. Of course, first thing I do is I take the iMac, put it on the desk, and I install OS 10 on it because OS 10 was fairly new and I wanted to see how it ran on it. And immediately had a problem. Had to update the firmware on it. It wasn't booting up correctly. All sorts of wonky stuff happening. And then all of a sudden, the screen went off. And I said, okay, well, maybe it's just a fluke. Maybe it won't do it again. And so we had it around for a while, and sometimes the screen would just shut off. And then it just wouldn't turn on. And this machine was obviously a demo unit. It was hanging around for God knows how long in the store, being tortured by potential customers and such. And we ended up returning it very swiftly because, yeah, there was a problem with it. And thank goodness we had that warranty. Or, yeah, that would have been quite of a annoying purchase there, to just have a dead computer that you just got. So there was no magic smoke from it. I just remember it just would just turn off randomly, which is not fun. So that's my rant about CompUSA. Not more a rant, a story. I hope you like that. True story. And I hope all 53 of you were entertained by that. Or at least you're entertained enough to not move away from the screen. But we have 4 more capacitors to put on here. Then we'll go over to the 2 axial ones. I'm going to clean up these pads a little bit because they are a little suspect. Well, yes, these capacitors are not the exact ones that these came with. These are tantalum capacitors. That's what I use to recap these machines. They last longer. You don't have to worry about the leakage. I know some of the modern ones are leak-proof, or they use the powder or all this stuff. This is simply what I use. Not saying this is what everybody has to use. This is simply how I do things. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the best way to do things. There are certainly many different avenues to go, and you know what? If you want to do that, more power to you, man. Have fun. But this is my particular board that I'm servicing here. I'm going to do it in this particular way. The customer's A-okay with that. And so that's how we're going to do it. But there's many ways to fix up these boards. I've seen some crazy inventive things that people have done to replace batteries or build all sorts of things like little Arduino micro chipsets and controllers and whatnot to do these crazy things. And I'm like, what? That's insane. I mean, it's really cool, but like, I couldn't even think about that. I must not be paying him enough because now there's only 50 watching Dana. So yeah, but oh man, come on, AppleCare. It's only $150. You know, the ghost of Steve Jobs recommends highly that you buy AppleCare Plus for your Macintosh SE 30, especially if it's cursed. I mean, I think that's a given. Like if you have a cursed computer, you should get the warranty. Oh boy. Just gonna recycle those jokes until they're not funny anymore. And I'm still laughing. Alright. A little more solder in there. So, I know a lot of you in the chat have been here before, but some of you that are new here, do you have any classic Macs? Do you have any retro Macs? Any maybe PowerPC computers? What type of computers do you have? And it's alright if you have a PC. PCs are cool too, but just curious. I know quite a lot of the people in the chat who normally hang out here, I know what types of computers they have, but are you just getting into these classic Mac stuff, or are you new to this type of stuff? Because for me, I've been obsessed with these stupid machines for years. But it's always interesting to hear how people are getting into them, especially these days. They find them on the side of the road, or they find a cursed one on Craigslist, and it sort of starts a whole thing. So, very curious to know. Spindler care. Ooh, yeah. No warranty against cracked plastic. No thanks. Obsessed since you were a child, but never owned one. Well, maybe it's time to change that. Of course, there is that crazy eBay effect of these people that probably need some attention. Ooh, there's some green all over this chip here. Ooh, look at that. Where you will get these people that want top dollar, insane dollars, for a machine that's probably broken or probably needs a lot of attention. And people are happy, well, maybe not happy, but people are begrudgingly shelling out hundreds and thousands of dollars for these things. I mean, it makes no sense to me personally, because I grew up in an age where Macintosh stuff was unwanted. You would go to a PC flea market that was all PC stuff, and nobody was interested in. So I got most of my collection 25 years ago or whatever. It was nobody wanted this stuff. And so I just, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't click in my brain that there are people out there who, value this stuff to such a high degree. Like Bruce's example there, a Macintosh Classic for $500. I wouldn't pay $50 for one. I wouldn't. It's to me, it is personally not worth $50. It is not a $50 machine. But I could say with the keyboard, with the mouse, with the power cable, tested, maybe not recapped, but tested, maybe $50 is an okay price. Now, if you're going to recap it, maybe that bumps it up to $100 if it's in good condition or whatever. But, I mean, come on. That's a bit silly in my opinion. I mean, especially if the machines aren't recapped. I think that's what gets me the most about it. The person doesn't have the machine, they won't open the lid of it, they won't take a picture. As is, whatever. And we all know as is usually means it's broken. So, yeah. That's bit crazy. Bit crazy. Oh, a lot of you are talking about your computers here. Let's read some of these. Let's take a little bit of a break here and read some of this. All right, so we have a bunch of stuff to start off with. Oh boy. So Trey started with the Macintosh SE, a very good machine there. Q-Ball started with the Macintosh Classic back in the 90s. Classic is a decent machine as long as you don't overpay for it. I feel the same way, Chief. I feel old too. Don't worry. And I am old. So, well, not that old. Frank had a Power Macintosh 7100 and a blue and white G3 450. Very cool, Frank. Very cool. Yeah, we all regret giving things away and stuff. Trust me. I have too. So Thomas has a lot of 8-bit machines, and he got a lot of Macintosh SE 30s. Interesting. Interesting. Or maybe that was just a kit, if I'm reading that correctly. The chat just goes by so quickly. I'm just trying to catch up. Trying to catch up. Oh, boy. All right, a bunch of 512, a 512E, a Plus, an SE, an SE FD HD, an SE 30. That's quite a collection, NK. Very cool. Adam is a former Apple authorized tech who owns everything from the Apple II Revision 0 through the Core i7 Mac. Between 50 and 75 computers in your house. Well, not to put you to shame there, I'm sure yours are in much better condition. I have a little bit more than that, but I have a lot of duplicates. But that's a very, very nice collection there, Adam. Very cool. Jordan says he has an SE, an Apple II, a G4 Cube, an iBook. Started with the 128K Mac. $60. Not bad at all. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, a lot of the younger generation seems to like the G3, the G4 stuff. Okay. Start out with the 2015 MacBook Pro. I'm glad you like it, even though you don't know why. Yeah, the price is always what people will pay, but I don't know. It's not what I would pay. Over 110. I hope it's that low. I don't know. I haven't counted since the e-waste placed. Oh boy. Mac Plus, a 512K and SC30 of Power Mac 7200. Ooh, cracked. Ooh, yeah. Oh, 600 MHz iMac. Okay. I hear the Sun machines are cool. I've never had one. I've had a tower for one, but I traded that away for something. A broken G5 tower. The only thing broken was the GPU. Ha! Nice. That's a cool trick, Cubo. And Bruce says Mike says since the 512KE. Very cool. How does one get an old Mac for cheap? Well, these days, I don't know. I mean, social media, Craigslist, Facebook, there's a chance of getting it, but there's always, it's exactly, Jordan. It's just luck. You never know if someone's going to have one. They're going to look on eBay. They're going to look at the asking price. They're going to assume that's what they're selling for and just go crazy. But estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, all that sorts of stuff. You just need luck. Michael has a bunch of stuff. 2E, 2C, 2GS, an Apple III, a bunch of the early ones. Ooh, a Next Station Turbo Color. Very, very cool. And the iPods are very popular too. That surprised me. I mean, I guess they're vintage these days, but wow. Exactly. Right place at the right time. I have a video that I'm probably going to make it a scripted one just to get something out there, but I went on a little website called the Facebooks, and they had a marketplace thing, and by me, somebody was selling this. And let me switch the camera here real quickly. It's a PowerBook Dual Power Adapter. Now, it's not the original one. It's an aftermarket one by BTI. But it was very strange that somebody was selling this new in the box. I had a good feeling they had other stuff. And boy, did they have other stuff. A bunch of software, a bunch of things. Not so many computers that I walked away with, but I did come across a very, very nice looking Grape iMac G3 that I was able to take home. The whole bundle cost me like $20. So it was just a case of somebody moving, and they just wanted the stuff gone. They didn't want anything for it, just wanted it gone. That original power adapter was listed for $15, so I thought giving them $20, they were happy to have that. So you just have to be in the right place at the right time. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yes, my Apple III thankfully came with the profile. I was lucky to fix that, but so we're just taking a little break here, just reading some of the comments because you guys are kind enough to watch and chat here, so I'm going to interact with you guys. How about that? Oh, I just missed that. Where'd that go? Yeah, a lot of things are very expensive now. Oh, 5 megabyte profile, just like mine. Very cool. Yeah, I think it also depends on where you are. Oh, yes. So, as I'm leaving the place with all the software and I took some big old bulky stuff out of their hands, an old printer, an old scanner. And so I'm walking on the side of their house back to the car with a bunch of stuff in my hands, and I hear the woman go, "Woohoo!" She was just happy to get rid of it. So I'm like, you know what? They're happy, I'm happy. That's perfect scenario. Oh, it was awesome. Oh, boy. Yeah, and a lot of people just trash it, so... All right, back to trying to get this little guy going here. All right, so there is I might scrape this away there, because that trace there is I mean, it's not gone. The trace is there, but I might want to scrape that away and just coat that with some solder there, because I'm concerned, especially in the state of the capacitors that were here, that is this really, yeah, there's just a lot of gunk on there. Yeah, you could see it's yeah, see, it's just wiggling off. This is all already eaten away there. So there's just some cleaning, not really scraping to do, but yeah. And they loved my business. Isn't that nice? Adam, that's awesome. I do not have a lot of those Quadras. I have a 610, I have a 840, and I have an 800. I think, and a 605. I think that's it. I did not get new blades. I have to get new blades. I have to get new blades. These are the first ones I've been using since January, and they're becoming quite a bit dull, so I'm just being very careful. New ones are on the way. I don't know when they're going to come yet. Also ordered some new flux. So that is coming as well, because I'm dangerously low on flux. Just got some new alcohol, which is great, because I've been running so low. I was desperate, and I ordered some online, and it wasn't a bad price, thankfully. So big thanks to Jay from the House of Moth for suggesting this place. Trying to get some of the gunk off of this blade here. Very close to the sun. Since January, I know. Well, Bruce is going to yell at me anyway. I'm not really I'm gently suggesting that this dirt go elsewhere and stop disrespecting the board. My flux is also in the post. Well, I ordered the scalpels in January. I don't know if I actually used them in January, but I mean, there was a set, so it came with 2 of each. So this is not the first one I've been using. The first 2 I've used are now deceased. I still have the holders of them, but the blades are too dull to do anything. I probably started using these. Ooh, no, May, June, something like that. I do still have the rotting meat flux, and in fact, I did use that for something I didn't care about. I was just practicing on something, and it came in handy. So, for those of you who are not aware, I used to, when I started out doing this live recapping stuff, I had some flux that looked very suspicious, and it was deemed as looking like rotted meat, so that everyone calls it the rotting meat flux. Alright, so let's continue here. We're almost done putting all the caps on here. Then we get to test it. That's the funnest part. The not fun part is putting all the memory back in those little clips and praying that it'll be okay. Because those clips, these little plastic clips that hold the memory and the ROM SIMM in, are very delicate. Old brittle plastic. I find that the black colored ones are more delicate because I have two Macintosh 2 CIs. One has the black clips, one has the beige clips, and the beige ones seem much softer, and they don't seem as susceptible to being stiff, which is good. But they snap off like crazy. Well, that's why you order online, Adam. Then nobody can give you dirty looks. All right, that looks much cleaner. Let's try and clean this up a little bit, because there's some definite scunge and gunk and whatever the proper terminology that Bruce will correct me with on these pads here. So let's try and clean those up a little bit, shall we? Yes, we shall. All right, so let's just clean those up a little bit. Just gonna put some solder on my iron, and we're just going to need a bigger solder ball than that, I think. Just kindly suggest that all the gunk here gets the heck off of these pads. You've had 30 years to vacate the premises, and you have not done so. So, bad solder, get over these pads, please. Thank you. You know what, Adam? I was not really too good at doing anything solder related. And honestly, what helped me was by listening to my good friends Bruce and Jay and just following their advice. I was using a very crummy old soldering pencil. Not that this is the best set in the world I have now, but it was a $50 solder station off eBay, has a hot air gun and all this stuff. And it's worlds better than the little crummy pencil I had from Amazon. And, you know, that has really made a lot of difference. For, you know, the tips are interchangeable. I can put a lot more heat on it. It just works much better. And so I would highly suggest you watch Bruce's soldering videos. If you're not subscribed to his channel, do that. Brankus Creations in the chat here. But what's great about his videos is he does like a soldering basics video. And he has a bunch of links in the description of like what to buy and all that stuff. Great tutorials. I watched a heck of a lot of his stuff, and you know, we did Skype calls and things before I got anywhere close to the quote-unquote skills that I have now. And I'm not perfect. I'm a little sloppy here and there and a little jittery, but who isn't? These caps did smell fishy. They don't smell fishy as much right now, a little bit. But they when I removed the caps before, there was a very, very, very pungent smell, which happens to capacitor of a very special age. And, yeah, it was not fun. All right, so we're an hour and a half in here. Oh my goodness. Time is flying when you're having fun. And I appreciate everybody hanging with me, because otherwise I'd be doing this alone. It'd kind of be weird when I talk to myself when I'm alone. Alright. Let's just clean that up a little bit. And we'll get those caps on there. Then we just have the two axial ones. And hopefully, within 20-30 minutes, we could test this machine out. Maybe a little sooner. Because I'm going to test it. I gotta. gotta test it out. Hopefully, Sean, we've broken the curse on this machine. If we do get it successfully working with new capacitors. Now, I know it worked with the old ones, but ugh, look at all the gunk that was by the old ones. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And yes, we have 47 people watching. That is amazing. Thank you, everybody. That's very kind. If you are new to the channel, I would very kindly suggest that you consider subscribing. I do a lot of live stream videos. I have some, well, I think they are quite excellent. I know a lot of people would agree with me. Excellent scripted videos about the Macintosh Plus, about the iMac G3, about an Apple III profile hard drive, and some cool stuff. So if you want to do that, that would be very kind if you could subscribe to the channel. And when I do a new video or when I go live, you'll be notified of that. And you get just keep tabs on me. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram. The handle is Mac84TV. That is TV as in television. And also on Patreon, patreon.com/Mac84 if you would like to support me and get access to exclusive videos and all that fun stuff. You can certainly check that out. You get access to things before they're actually posted. You get discounts on some shirts and some fun stuff. You get some desktop wallpaper. You get a bunch of goodies. And you're supporting me, which is great because, you know, most of this stuff, like the capacitors and the solder and all that junk is relatively inexpensive, but it adds up. Oh, very, 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 very kind of you, Jordan. Thank you very much for the super chat there. Eep! No, that wasn't a good eep. I apologize. Hold on. Eep! There. That's a eep to wake you up. Thank you very much for the super chat. That is another way you could support me. If you would like, you could give me a super chat, which is very kind. And a lot of these little things just help me, and you know, it's very kind of you. So thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Adam. Yes, a lot of people I see, especially the ones I support on Patreon, sometimes the support tiers are, I mean, look, if I'm going to support someone, I'm going to support someone, but what sort of turns me off with some people I follow, and I'm not naming names, I'm just saying general, sometimes like the lowest support tier is like $10 a month, and it's like, whoa. I mean, I want to support you and all, but $10? So I made sure to put a bunch of different tiers on there, and the majority of the content there on my website, on the Patreon site, is available for the lowest tier and up. Now, there are some perks, obviously. For the higher tiers, you get some exclusive things in that, but as far as the early access to my videos and stuff, that's available for anybody. Whether you're doing $1 or $30, you know. That's just how I personally feel. Like I want to do it, and I know that a lot of people out there are appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of that to the people that I subscribe to that have, you know, $1 or $2 tiers, because it's like buying them a cup of coffee every month or something like that, and it's a small way to show your support, but you know what, it does add up. I have almost 20 patrons or something like that right now, which is extremely awesome. I mean, geez, I started doing this, I never thought I'd get that high. It was really, really cool stuff. And yes, I do try and make posts often. I have a video post that I am recording. I wanted to do something to show off some goodies I got. So it's a little bit of an edited video. I just did not get a chance to finish that yet with the new internet installation and all this stuff going on. But rest assured, there will be a Patreon post sometime tomorrow or so. Hopefully get that out there. But yeah, I've run a little blog on there. It's nice to just chat. It's like we're all in the same club. And it's just another way for me to say thank you. And to have another place to have a dialogue with you guys. Alright. Sorry we're a bit off camera there. Use my $1 for my cheap beer. Okay. Alright, so we're going to do the other side now. Oh, we can't do the other side. Yes, we would run into the plastic there real quick. So we'll just have to use the other tilted area here. All right, so let's continue here. We're almost done with these caps. Then we're on to the axial ones, which that's going to be exciting. Exciting. Personally, like a little more on that one. There we go. Okay. That looks pretty good. Alright, so we have all of our 11 tantalum capacitors on the board here. So that looks much better than having no caps on there at all. Nice and pretty. Nice and pretty. Now we can't test it just yet because I did clip off this electrolytic one because I am going to replace those two. That's actually a pretty silly move of me. I should have left that one connected and I would have been able to test it right now. I guess technically if I solder this there, I could test it. I'll let you guys vote. What would you like me to do? This is a choose your own adventure type situation. Would you like me to A, quickly connect this capacitor to the... I don't even know if I can do it, honestly. You know what? No, we're not going to go... We're not going to go that route simply because I do not want to have to put memory in and out of these slots more than I have to. That is just asking for trouble. And I almost fell into the curse there of this machine. I almost fell the curse in there. I don't want to do that. We're gonna get these caps off really quick. I turned off the iron so I could swap the tips there. I don't have a fancy enough iron where I could swap those tips easily. But this is not going to take us much time at all, I promise you. Let's hope. And I'm going to snip off the other capacitor here. Get that out of the way. I know, it does. It does. See, Sean knows this firsthand because Action Retro has dealt with this. He was lulled into a false sense of security with the SE, and then all of a sudden it got cursed. And he didn't know that, but it was already cursed before he got it, probably. Solder on the metal side sockets. You mean there's a solder ball there, or you're suggesting that I solder? I'm actually going to grab a glass of water, if you don't mind. Hopefully you don't. While we wait for that soldering iron to cool down, because I've been talking straight for an hour and 37 minutes. Ugh. So, I will be right back. I will put up our little loading screen so you could groove to the hold music. I will be back in 2-3 minutes, something like that. So please hold, and I will be back shortly. Thank you. Alright, and we are back, and just because we have a cursed computer here, I thought our resident witch bunny should make an appearance and say hello. So this is Olivia. She is our little bunny here, and she's secretly a witch. She doesn't want anybody to know, but she is. And so she says hello to you all. And she's wondering why she's being held when she's not getting food. So Olivia says hi, and she is wishing that this computer is not cursed anymore, right? Right. All right. So we're going to put it down, and we'll get back to the stream. And it's a good thing she has black fur, so it's not showing on my black shirt. How about that? Building an Atari board. Cool. Ah, a Mac with a 128K with a SCSI upgrade. Very cool. Yes, give me treats. Buns everywhere. 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 Alright, so let's go ahead and swap the tip on our soldering iron. I believe I put them all in the spot they were supposed to be. No. Almost. Hold on. Let's see. It wouldn't be a stream without some slight disorganization. I found it. We are good. Okay. So the reason I use the other tip is it has a wider chiseled edge. It just heats up a lot better. And will thankfully, hopefully, help us get those pins out of there from those axial capacitors. And so this is probably still a little hot. So yeah, I feel some residual heat there. It's not hot enough where I can't touch it. I just don't want to risk it. So just going to use a pair of pliers here to assist me. I do not yet have one of those fancy soldering irons like Bruce does, where you can just easily swap the tips with your bare hands. That's really cool, and that'll probably be one of the next things I purchase when I actually get to the point of doing that, because that'll save me a lot of time, and it will probably encourage me more to swap the tips out, because right now I sort of got a plan for it. Be like, all right, let me do this first, then I'll do that, then I'll swap this, then I'll do that, etc. So again, something that I will likely be doing sometime in the future. They are very cool. The curse is looming. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Yeah, when Apple's giving away free iMacs, there's going to be a catch. Quote, free. In other words, you pay it, the whole thing. Please. No discounts. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put the microscope back here. And get a closer look at where those axial capacitors are. So there are two of them. There's a they're both 16 volts. One's a 220 microfarad, one is a 470 microfarad capacitor. And we have the replacements, which would be nice, to get going here. So just waiting for that to heat up here. Oh, Adam, I was thinking of doing that. I have a few of those cards, but my concern, Adam, was that some of the addresses on there are probably very old at this point. I don't know if they go to the right place. I know one of the ones was not a Cupertino address. It was an older one, but pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, so just I could smell that heating up, so that's good. Just let that heat up for another second there. But that's very cool that they actually gave you a response. Alright. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put some flux on the legs of these here, and hopefully with some fresh solder that's enough to kindly suggest that these get the heck out of here, because I've had some trouble with these in the past, and I don't want this to go on for another hour of me struggling to get these out. Hopefully this will be easy peasy, 1, 2, 3. How about that? If all of you wish it, hopefully it will happen. And for those of you rooting against me, come on! What the heck, man? Alright. Let's hope that this cooperates. There we go. That's one pin out. That's how you do it. There we go. The other pin's out. This is going to be a fun one because this is on the ground plane, I believe. This one gave me trouble on mine. So I know I'm up for a fight with this one. Yeah, I might have to work that from the other side first. Let me clip this off first here. Yes, I put flux on both of them already. I'll put some more flux on them again, but this one already melted away, but it never hurts to have a little bit more. Unless I truly forgot, and hey, that's possible. Sometimes my brain and my hands don't do the things I'm supposed to be doing. So it's very entirely possible that I might have forgotten. But I'm only human. Yeah, that is still not going anywhere. Yeah, I think it might be bent on the other side slightly, so we'll have to come back to that. Took 4 months for the reply. Oh, alright. Well, at least you got a reply. That's pretty cool. I'll have to try. Well, that's the thing. I may not send in the original registration card. But I might make a facsimile that is hard for them to determine if it's real or not. Silly me, I know. Alright, let's flip this over and take a look at that pin there. Let's see if we can identify it. That's the one. Yeah, that is right there on the ground plane. And we're going to have to adjust the microscope so you can actually see that. And what I like to do is just put a little dot of a marker there. And it'll clean off, but just helps me make sure when I'm looking at the microscope here, I know exactly the spot I'm looking for. Alright, and I will adjust the focus on this as best I can, because this board is quite tall right now. Here we go. Alright. Well, see, Adam, that's exactly what I'm going to do then. you gave me some good some good oh, I can't use words today. Words bad. You gave me some good ideas. There you go. Great minds think alike. All that stuff. Alright, so I'm just going to add some solder to this, and then we're going to try and wick it off. Oh, I could feel the pin there, so that's going to be a toughie. Yeah, let's see if we could wick that away here. Again, it's on the ground plane, so it could very well just decide, nope, not gonna happen. Got a good bit of it away there. Not as much as I would like, but... Alright. Oh, we've dipped down to 39 of you. Well, there's still 39 true believers out there that want to see this thing come to life. I do too. I think recapping it rids the curse of it. Is that what the rules say? Let's just try it from the other side now. Just curious if that was enough to do it. Probably not, but I think the curse of this machine is alive and well inside of this pin here. So if we get that out, I will be happy. Oh, it's wiggling. Oh, my cursed fingers. There we go. Got it out. Yay! Alright. 47 here. Yeah, YouTube does lie, so I had to refresh my thingy once in a while. Let me do that. So the YouTube Studio thing, which shows your chat and everything like that, sometimes it just gets stagnant and freezes. And it doesn't tell me. That still says 39 on my end, but numbers are weird, man. Numbers are weird. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and clean up these areas here so we could get nice clean holes through there so we could get our new capacitors in there. So let me put some more flux there. Just a wee bit there. And I just want to add some fresh solders there to sort of help these areas out here. And then we'll use our wick to get that out of there. Let me focus this so we are in focus. Maybe that help a little bit? Helps me. Alright, cool. And let's cut off the excess of our excess, or whatever you want to say, from our wick there. Yeah, there's a lot of people that that are like, oh, I just dishwashed it and it works great. It's like, that's a bit like putting air in your leaking tire. Yeah, it's going to temporarily fix the problem, but you still have a problem that you did not address the core problem. It's still going to be a computer that's going to leak. And those capacitors that made all that mess are still there. Get the other side of these too. Well, that's the curse of this computer. It just makes the viewers disappear. Well, I enjoy doing this stuff, even if there's not that many people here. I was pleased as punch to see that many people here for a while, so I'm very glad. That was very fun. I should add a little bit more flux on that. There was not as much there as I thought there was remaining from last time. Oh, looks like. Let's see there. Yeah, it looks like some of that got burned away a little bit, either by the iron or made a little weak from the capacitors there that were there already. But that's okay, because we can get in there with our UV solder mask later if we wanted to paint that up. But that is covered with solder, so that is safe. It's not going to get oxidized or anything like that, I don't think. So that's good. Well, you know what? I have an ultrasonic cleaner, and while using a dishwasher, the biggest thing is going to be the water that's there. You're not washing it with distilled water. Regular water has a lot of crap and grime in it. You run the risk of just getting a lot of stuff onto that board, and a lot of that stuff could eat away at things too. You gotta be very careful. So I'm not really going to suggest that you do that. Now, if you don't have an ultrasonic cleaner and the thing is like caked with dirt and grime and dust, sure, putting it through a dishwasher will make it look cleaner, but that will likely cause issues down the road. And look, I've put stuff in the dishwasher. The first to admit I've done something stupid. And I will not be doing it again. Now, the ultrasonic cleaners are very pricey, unfortunately, especially around this time. I don't know what's going on with this COVID stuff and the ultrasonic cleaners, but mine was a bit under $200 shipped. And it's not the best one, but it does work. Well, it worked after I fixed the darn thing. Brand new, you expect it to work, but no. Apparently that's a luxury. But yeah, I would kindly suggest that you do not do that. Now, you could just go the manual route and get a toothbrush and a whole jar of 99% alcohol and just scrub away. I mean, that's going to get a lot of the stuff off of there. It requires a lot of elbow grease to get going, but you know what? That usually helps a bunch. Yes, I said caked! I think if we made a lot of videos showing our true unfiltered feelings towards things, there might be a good audience out there, but I don't think any social media platform will gladly allow that type of content. Actually, I might be able to just get away by. Let's see, because this was already done before. Almost. And one of the rabbits is making a thumping noise upstairs. So that's what that noise is. If you could hear that. You might not be able to hear it. I hear it. But, they like doing that. In the clothes wash. Honey, how do these capacitors get in my sweater? Oh, those are ornaments. Come on. And then you could sell that cracked board, all 45 pieces of it, on eBay and say it's a very rare computer. One of a kind. And you wouldn't be wrong. But I don't think anybody would want that. Oh, awesome. Perfecto. We're going to clean up these holes when we get a chance. But one more to go, fellas. One more to go. I was hoping this would be under 2 hours. Looks like we're just going to go a bit over. But I have high hopes. I don't think that was all of it. Nope. I think we're going to have to work on the other side for this one. Because that is the one on the ground plane there. And, yeah, let's keep that going. I keep thinking there's flux there, and there's just not enough of it. There's a bunch of chat up here. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, no worries, Trina. I'm missing a lot of jokes here. What am I saying here? What's going on? guys are funny. You guys are funny. All right. Let's see if we could get the last remaining hole here. Come on. Ah, almost. There was so much solder coming off of that. I thought, we got it this time, guys. We got it. Nope, that's too deep there. Let's try this again. This is, oh boy. This is being a little bit problematic here. It is not wanting to come out. Now, if this is the only one that is stubborn there, I can always just put the one leg of the capacitor through there, and it will be ugly for a little bit, but we'll get it working. I don't want to do that. I want to get that out of there, but we'll see if this board has other plans. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Almost. Look how close we got. And that'll clean up pretty good too. So it looks a little yucky, but much better. Ooh, an image writer. Yeah, you know, I have not done any retro writing. I'm not against it. I just want them to be functional more than I want them to work. More than I want them to look pretty, you know. That's just me personally. I mean, you know, I'll probably end up doing it eventually, but first priority is getting all these ugly, disgusting caps off of my machines. Then we'll worry about them looking pretty, because that's the second priority as far as I'm concerned. All right, cool. Woohoo! That is very rewarding to have all these holes done. Hooray! All right, so I'm just going to clean some of these up here. Make sure there's no gunk around them. Looks like it's just flux, yeah. Okay, so we have our two through-hole capacitors here, our axial capacitors, whatever you want to call them, and we're ready to install them. So, our first one is a 470 microfarad capacitor, and the little diagram here shows that the arrows are pointing one way. That means the negative leg is on the left here. So that arrow is saying that's where the negative leg is. So we have to turn this around in order to fit in this particular region. Come on. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to put those legs right through those holes. Now, comes the fun part, is bending them, because I always either bend a little too much or not enough. So it's a little bit of a measure as we go along here. And what I always like to also try and do is make sure that the value is pointed up there, and I did not succeed on that, so let's try that again. So I like having the value and that little dash on the top, so if anybody ever has to replace these in the future for whatever reason, it will make their job a little bit easier. So I'm just a little bit considerate there. I mean, these are the capacitors I use. I'm not saying you got to use the same ones, but hey, to each their own. To each their own. All right. There we go. Let's push this all the way down so it's, I mean, it doesn't have to touch the board, but it has to just hover right over it. It's fine. The image writer is a fun one. That's going to be fun to dismantle, I can tell you that much. That thing is built in such a way where you start taking it apart and you're like, where does this piece go? Huh? Alright. No worries, Bruce. Okay, so some of this I can't do on the microscope camera because it's just, there's a little bit too much room there, for a little too little room for me to actually do that. So I am going to just do this right here for one of them, and I'll show you how that looks after. So I know it's sort of like, oh, we can't see it. You will be able to see it. I just need to do this in a certain way. Otherwise, this is going to get a little messy here. And I don't want this board to be any more cursed than it is now. Let's just put it that way. All right. Okay, I'm going to flip it over here and just cut off the excess legs here that are just dangling around. And I just like to put, like, just make sure it's actually soldered on the back here, because sometimes it will just like hanging off by a hair there. We don't want that. Alright, so let me just clean that up here. We go back to this. We have one more capacitor to go. Cracked solder joints, where? Where? You scared me, Bruce. Don't scare me like that. Oh, you're talking about the analog board. Okay, oof. Like Bruce's all-seeing eye. He'd go through dimensions and time and space, and he's like, yeah, I got a cracked solder joint right there. Alright, so that doesn't look too bad there. That's in the right spot. Going the right way. Alright, so now we're up to the last capacitor here, folks. Last one. Last one here. This is a 220 microfarad capacitor. It is going right there. That's where it's going. Again, we're just going to make sure that we have the negative pointed the right way, which is very important if we want things to work and not go kablamo. I'm going to try to do a better job of bending this one this time. Okay, so let's see if that will go through. And it does. How about that? Alright, so let me just fold this on the back. So I'm just folding these pins outward so they do not flail around as much. Okay, just confirm that's in the right position. It is. This one's a little smaller. I should be able to do this one on camera here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just add some flux to each side, and then we're going to add some solder. And this will be our last cap, then we're going to test it. Then we're going to test it. Don't think that's going anywhere. Alright, do time for the other side here. Alright, that's not going anywhere either. And we're going to clip these legs off of the bottom here. These extra long legs that do not need to be there. And this looks like it actually soldered correctly here, so I think on the back we're in good shape, but just to smooth out those little edges there, sometimes there's a bit of a jagged there from the jagged piece of metal there from the actual cap itself. That should be alright. That's alright too. Okay, so to recap our recap, we have replaced all the capacitors on this board. I did not see any trace damage or anything that stood out to me. Obviously, if we turn it on, there are some issues. We'll revisit that, but I think we're in a good spot here. I am just going to touch up some of the excess flux that is around these capacitors here, because there is quite a lot. And this will go through an ultrasonic cleaning and all that fun stuff after testing is completed and everything. But are you guys ready to see this tested? I'm excited. I am excited. It looks like there's some solder there. What you doing there? You're not supposed to be there. That would have caused some problems now, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? That's why we always take a look. That was probably from an old capacitor there. And we're gonna get all that out of there, because nobody wants you there. Yeah, let's get that goop away from there. Oh, thank you. The last thing we need is a little solder ball hanging around to curse this machine. What is this machine with little bits all over here? Jeez. See this leg right there? That is probably, well, you can't see the leg because it's off camera. This leg right there has some gunk around it, and that's probably what was just got a little hot and from maybe the heat gun when we were taking off the capacitor in this area. And we got some junk there, so just there we go. Just cleaning some of that off, and we'll have to touch some of this up with some UV solder mask at a later point. But just want to make sure everything is nice and clean. We're going to get our scalpel and just get between the pins of this chip here, because we can see there is some gunk here. That's pretty solid too. Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Ugh. See a little tiny solder ball there too, so get all of that out of the way. Alright. Okay. Alright guys. I'm just getting a quick look-see over here. We still have some more solder balls. What the heck? Is there a convention? Hey, please don't make the moderators angry. They are there to do a job. Thank you. Alright. Let's zoom out here. Make sure you don't have anything suspicious. Well, except the curse. I mean, that's there, but nothing we can do about that. We are not skilled enough to get rid of curses, but everything appears to be okay. Just gonna zoom around here. Just looking at the corners there, make sure there's nothing by these chips I should worry about. I mean, there is some green and gunk stuff there, but that'll be dealt with when we do use the ultrasonic cleaner. And I think this came out pretty well. All right, let's get testing. How about that? There was no battery issue, thankfully. There was not. All right. That was you pocket moderating? Uh-oh. Forgiveness, please. All right, yeah, because that's what we're concerned about, but we'll be cleaning that. We'll be cleaning that on its own. That deserves its own cleaning. Yeah, sorry, Trey. He must have pocket moderated you. That's a new term. You should patent that, Gritty. All right, time to get out the Macintosh SE. I have a Macintosh SE to go grab, so let me do that. I'll be right back in like 1 minute. I just have to get up and go grab that computer. All right. Let's try and fix this here. What are you doing, Grudy? I'm going to have to take away your privileges. All right, so we have a Macintosh SE30 here. And we're going to test our wonderfully recapped board and hope everything goes according to plan. So the first thing we got to do is put our memory in. I'm going to put in half the memory. I'll just put in the whole thing. I'll regret that, I'm sure, because this machine is cursed. And this machine is packed with the maximum of memory you could have. And that screeching is just, you know, getting my heart. Ugh. Sorry about that, Trey. This squeaking is just ripping at my soul here, because I don't want any of these to break. Plastic is very brittle, and I have no control over it. So we could just be gentle and try our best. But, alright, so we're going to be testing this in just a moment, folks. Your 2 hours and 20 minutes of watching are about to pay off. Yeah, that the fourth one from the top gave me some trouble when I was trying to remove it. Now, that was a little exciting, but I got it. Whew. And just lucky me, I'm going to have to take this off, all of them out, when I have this board cleaned as well. So, alright. All 8 16 megabyte memory slots are, well, all 16 DIMMs are, SIMMs are in there and accounted for. And now we're going to put in our big mess of wires special ROM SIMM. Now, if you've never seen one of these before, they're really cool. They're red. You can get them at bigmessofwires.com. I should probably invest in one of these. Really, really neat. It replaces the ROM of the SE30, the stock ROM. And looks like there's some extra solder on one of those pins. But anyway, let's make sure we're actually putting this in the right way. Right? It would only go in one way, right? That is correct. Okay, cool. Alright, I know these are notorious for being a little finicky too, but... Alright. Yes, the skull just adds more to the curse. Alright. We can put our fresh battery in there, which Sean has provided, so we know that battery is hopefully not cursed. And we're going to leave that plastic bit off, because that is annoying to put on and off. Alright. I'm going to take the back off of this Macintosh. Okay, and we're going to carefully plug in our speaker cable so we could hear that lovely chime when it happens, not if. I say when. Slide this into the left here. And there we go. We just plug in our plug here. Alright, everything looks like it's all set up. Now I need to grab a keyboard. And we'll just borrow this keyboard and mouse here. Alright, so gentlemen, ladies, place your bets. Do you think this wonderful Macintosh is going to work? I am hopeful. I believe it will. So much though that I'm moving the camera and I'm adjusting it. There we go. Sean votes alive. Okay, well, let's try this out then. All right, get some of this junk out of the way, and let's cross our fingers here. And test in 3, 2, 1. I heard the new Big Mess of Wires startup chime, and there we have it. We have our cursor. What is the keyboard command for the Mess of Wires to boot up? I forget. What is that? Was it Command R? Something like that? Now, I don't see the... There it is. 2 megabyte. Press R for... A for RAM disk? R? I was probably too slow on that, actually. But it works! Hooray! There we go. Yeah, so I think I have to do the RAM disk command. I think that's what we have to do here. So let me turn that off and try that again. R. Okay, so I hold that down, I guess. I'm just going to hold that down. There we go. We got a little Pirate Mac. Welcome to Macintosh. Bring you a little bit closer so you can see. Get my hand out of the way there. They normally take this long? Maybe it does. I don't have one, so I'm not sure. I also do have my SCSI 2 SD adapter. I know sometimes the Big Mess of Wires ROM can be a little bit finicky to be seated in that slot there. I've read that a few times. I don't know how true that is. I personally never owned one. Might be the case. Or maybe that ROM is just extra big. Oh, I think that is my cell phone making interference. What is that? There's like noise. Let me turn that off for a second. I think... Well, first off, this case is not the one I normally use. Let me turn this around. Where's my phone? There. Let's move that away. Probably getting some interference there. But, yeah, let's... I'm going to reseat that ROM because I've read a lot that sometimes that ROM just has to be seated a certain way. And if it's not pressed up right up against it, you could potentially have some issues there. Now, of course... Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, it looks okay, but let's reseat that. Of course, to reseat that, we have to unplug everything and pull the whole board out. It's a lot of fun. But it is a cursed computer. And that ROM sim touches right on the edge of where everything else is. This whole thing is like fighting me here too. Let me stand up and do this. But it does work, so I'm very excited that the recapping was successful. Just want to make sure, there we go, that everything else is in working order. And I do have a stock ROM that I could always put in there just to play it safe there. But what I'm going to do is just take this out. Very carefully, of course. And I'm going to actually clean it, but maybe this is probably best to see under the microscope, actually. So let me show that to you. Let me see if I have enough room to just quickly show you there. But here's the Big Mess for Wires ROM chip. Look over here. There's one solder pad that is just... Well, I mean, to me it looks a little bit different. Wait, oh, wrong way. Wrong way, wrong way. Right there, you see that one? It's just a little bit bigger than the rest. It wouldn't surprise me if that was causing some sort of issue there. I'm just going to clean the contacts just for the heck of it. I mean, that ROM sim slot is probably dirty anyway. And we're already getting some dirt off of it, so. Yeah, so I am very, very happy that this is in nice working condition. Obviously, we want to make sure it boots up correctly from the ROM sim and everything, but I know some of these can be a little bit picky. But still, I say we try it again. As you guys have waited so long, what's another few minutes? Alright, and make sure there's no dust or dirt. Actually, we got some crap in there. There's some crap right in that slot there, which is probably not helping things. It's hard to do this when there's a compact Mac on the other side of the board here. Let me see if I could focus this in the camera for you guys, because I want to see that too. Yeah, there's some dust and some hair there. It probably wouldn't be causing anything, but that actually looks like some extra solder there. See that? Oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Right there, right in the middle of the screen now, you see there are two little bits of solder? That is a little bit concerning because that could easily bridge something. So I'm going to see if I could carefully... Let me put this Mac back on the ground here. Ah. Now that could be something that could be cleaned out in the ultrasonic cleaner, no doubt. But there's quite a lot of garbage in there. Quite a lot. So let me see if I could just fish that out with the tweezers here. And yeah, there we go. Oh, I had it there for a second. There we go. No worries, Sean. I will keep you posted. But we're in good shape, I think. But yeah, obviously, we don't want to bridge any pins there. So just cleaning out. There's a lot of debris in here. And this will all be cleaned out in the ultrasonic cleaner. But I'm just looking for metallic things. We don't want any of that. We don't want any of that. And this is a prime example of the microscope coming in handy because I would not have seen that in detail with my eyes there. All right, let's try this again. One last time. All right, we're going to switch away from our microscope. We're going to bring our SE back onto the table here. Now, I believe this one does need its analog board recap. That might have been some of the squealing going on there, but I have experienced that in other boards, and then when the people get back the board, it's fine. So I know it's just the case I have here, but we're just doing a test. We're not going to keep it running in this machine. So. All right. All right, let's try that again. This time with no curse, all right? No curse, bad curse. And we need our keyboard and mouse. And let's try that again. Getting some crackling on the speaker, but I think that's not the logic board. I've had that with other machines. I think it's just interference. Huh. It's the ghost! Well, because that ROM SIMM could probably use some cleaning out, I'm just going to use my SCSI 2SD adapter here, and we know this board needs a good cleaning either way. But for the sake of completing this stream here, we will just finish this up here. There we go. And we have our full 8 megabytes recognized. Of course, there's much more. This system just does not have the tweaks that the big mess of wires disk does to understand that there's 128 megabytes in there. That's excellent. So we did get it working. This computer itself, not the logic board, the computer has some audio issues which you are hearing, but I will reseat that ROM after we do some cleaning to make sure everything is running correctly. But I am satisfied that we did recap the machine and everything is working correctly, with the exception of some weird curse stuff, but I think that's just part of the curse. So, whoops, my camera keeps wanting to point down there. There we go, there I am. But awesome, all right, so that was, whew, that took a while, but I'm very satisfied that we recapped the machine, that it was fairly straightforward, and I look forward to working on my other SE. Maybe that one will work with me here now that the curse has been lifted from this. But I am quite happy with the job that we did here today. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. We have 50 people watching right now, so thank you everybody so much for watching. I'm so glad that we were able to resurrect this little Mac and perform an exorcism here and get that curse off of it. If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would like you to please consider doing so. That would be awesome. You just click the little subscribe button. If you click the little bell icon, you'll be notified when I do another live stream like this. But hey, you know, for a cursed Macintosh, I think this stream went very well. So I will pat myself up on the back for that. If you do want a cool shirt like the one I'm wearing here, you can subscribe to my Patreon. That starts at $1 a month, but you get a bunch of cool extras there, exclusive videos, behind the scenes stuff you can't get anywhere else, blog posts, stuff like that. I am on social media as Mac84 TV on Twitter and Instagram if you want to follow me on there. And yeah, that's really about it. So thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate all the new subscribers and the people who've been watching me for a long time. All of you, thank you so much. Thank you all for the super chats. And good night, everybody. So take care, stay safe, and I'm going to hit that little end stream button. So take care, guys. Have a good night. Hope to see you again on another stream.